All right, now let me get Facebook going. And it's nice to meet you, Mr. Jackson.
It's
I
a
see you
pleasure
around.
meeting Crystal.
Let's see. We're coming.
Okay, the recording's on.
Continue as Crystal. Okay, Facebook is doing some new stuff.
What's happening, Stephen?
All righty.
Hey, Joseph.
Put Mr. Jackson's
Renee,
info.
Ted.
Let me.
Everybody.
Oh, whoa. It's going to go to my page. Oh, wait. There we go. All right. We should be able to go live.
Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the community briefing. My name is Gregory Sneed, and we are glad you are here. Today is the 25th of July in the year 2024, and not too much going on in the news. Anybody hear anything? Nothing going on? Man, is anybody paying attention to the news in the last, 2 weeks? The last 48 hours, it's been pretty crazy, but we just got to keep our nation in prayer and stay vigilant and vote. So we've got a great show for you today. Our guest is Fred Jackson, not Freddie Jackson, but it is Fred Jackson, and he'll be joining us momentarily. My name is Gregory Sneed. I'm CEO of Lifesaver Financial Services. I help my clients keep more of the money they make. And now I'm going to bring to the virtual stage the queen of our community briefing, Miss Crystal Mitchell.
Howdy, everyone. Glad to have you. My goodness, we're going to be living in some exciting times. This is like 2008. If you remember that energy that we had going on there. I was telling my cousin, I think I want to schedule my trip for the inauguration, but I don't know. I have to think about that one this go round. So welcome. I am
have some faith. Have some faith.
Okay, so I'm gonna call my cousin.
Book that ticket now.
Tell my cousin I'll be coming to stay for the guest room. But yeah. Welcome. My name is Crystal Mitchell. I'm the inspiration behind the community briefing, as well as co-director for Recycling Black Dollars. It is exciting times for us. Being Black in this country sometimes is kind of challenging. And so this is good to feel that good energy. But welcome here. This is our platform where we're meeting people who are sitting at the table, who are hearing decisions that are being made on our behalf, and we need to know who they are so that we can have questions. We need to be inquisitive. Right now, we need to ask questions of everything and everybody, and we need to be involved, and we need to get to the polls. I'm gonna leave that real tirade to Miss Robin, because that's her thing. But voting is imperative. We got 103 days, somewhere like that, 103, 102 days before the election. This platform is our platform, so please share it out. Make sure that everyone knows that we are here every Thursday afternoon, Thursday morning at 11 a.m. We have a fantastic team. Miss Robin Billups, and she's going to come on shortly, Mr. Greg Sneed, Mr. Stephen Turner, and we are powered by Recycling Black Dollars and the BBA, Miss Sarah Harris over there's the CEO, and the Black Business Association, and we're monetarily sponsored by Los Angeles LDC, Southern California Edison, SoCal Gas, PCR, and Wells Fargo Bank, and we're always welcoming more sponsorship to keep this platform going. Please include your information in the chat. Introduce yourselves. I'm only going to be here for a short period of time because I got kids. Everybody knows my summer gig is pouring into our young people, introducing them to entrepreneurship. They're going to be our future entrepreneurs, and so my kids are competing tomorrow. So I am deep in numbers and cracking whips to get my stuff done so I don't get embarrassed tomorrow morning. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Robin.
Greetings, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. The momentum has picked up. Everybody is understanding what's at stake regarding the vote. Please know that, it's not just the presidential vote that we're looking at. Your rights to vote are on the line. Your rights to control your own body are on the line. Your ability to grow your own self, your company, your community, your schools, everything's on the line. Democracy is on the line. So I was thinking about this the other day, and I said, if we as the community briefing can actually get folks registered, that means that they will actually go and vote. So again, the momentum is there. Let's keep the fires turned up high. Push, push, push until we get to November the 6th, when we hear about our new Black female president. We claiming it. I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it. I'm excited. And okay, I'm gonna get quiet. Greg, it's on you.
Thank you. I'll do a brief commentary here. Joseph put down that it'll be cold in DC. There was nothing funnier than hearing about people from Southern California that went to the Obama inauguration in 2009. And that, for many of them, that was their introduction to single-digit temperatures. And I do remember that a friend of mine was picking up somebody from LA who came and landed at the airport, and he had this jacket on, and he said, dude, you do have another jacket on, right? He says, no. He said, you're not going to make it. He said, no, I'm not going to be bad. He got outside. It was like 5 degrees, 4 degrees. The wind was blowing. and folks found out about the cold. It wasn't quite the hawk, because DC doesn't get that kind of wind.
Well,
but...
actually, that was when Obama was the inauguration, the first one. That was the coldest inauguration they had
ever.
in over 20 years.
Yeah.
I was skiing at the time, so I came equipped with my hand warmers and my parkers, and I wasn't cold at all.
No, people that ski would have that would be prepared, but
I had been on the websites, bought all the gear. It was still the coldest I've ever been in my life.
Yeah. All right, let's get this party started. All right, our guest today is Fred Jackson. I know him as Brother Jackson because he's a member of the greatest fraternity in the world, Alpha Phi Alpha. He is the Assistant General Manager of Economic and Workforce Development Department at the City of Los Angeles, also the Economic Workforce and Community Development Director. And his responsibilities are strategic, resourceful, detailed, yet big picture focus, and he's a self-directed leader. He's got extensive background in real estate, construction, project management, operations, contract management, affordable housing, regulatory compliance, and overseeing teams of consultants in the management of housing, mixed-use, commercial, and tenant improvement projects with budgets from $1 to $150 million. That sounds like an alpha man there. Okay. He's currently with the City of Los Angeles, has been there since 2021, so about 3 years. He also worked with the City of Inglewood. He was a senior planner there for 6 years, and part of the process with getting a lot of development going on here in the City of Inglewood, with the stadium and just a lot of development, people mover, and things that are happening with Inglewood. He's with the Barclay Development Group in real estate development and brokerage professional consultant, with the firm McKissick & McKissick, West Coast operation manager and senior project manager. He was with McGregor Company, also a development manager and asset manager, Lennar Urban Development Group, and he was senior community development manager there. Urban Partners, Lend-Lease, City of San Francisco redevelopment agency. I mean, there's some folks that come on here and they've got the little short, half a page. His goes on. He worked with City of Los Angeles City Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas back in the day. That was like 40 years ago. Woo, okay. City of West Covina and also City of South Pasadena. He has a Master's of Public Administration from Baruch College, New York City.
right.
And Cal Poly Pomona, Bachelor of Science in Urban and Regional Planning. And did I mention he's a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha? Yeah, I think I mentioned. All right. So please join me in welcoming to our virtual stage, Mr. and brother Fred Jackson.
Well, thank you, brother Greg Sneed, for that wonderful introduction. All of that means I'm definitely getting old, but no, I appreciate everything and all that you do, you know, in your financial management and literacy, educating and informing folks on how to manage and save their money. But also to the community briefing for this invite to come and speak with you all. And everything that you all do, you know, to educate and equip our community and our Black businesses with information and resources to help them thrive and hopefully expand and have a positive impact, not only personally, but within our collective communities. And I'm talking about Black community. And let me just say, since you all started, I attended the Obama inauguration with my wife and 2 kids. My son was 4 years old and my daughter was 1 year old. And we were like determined we're gonna be there, right? My wife's from New York. And so we were all bundled up, but my son fell asleep. And you know, when you have a 4-year-old, probably, I don't know, 30, 40 pounds, that's a lot of dead weight. And so we stopped every 5 feet because he was not waking up. But I will say this, my wife and I have already purchased our tickets to the inauguration on January 20th. So we're manifesting it, we're believing it, we're speaking it into an existence. And as you all opened up, it's imperative that we act at the ballot and vote and bring somebody along. And a voteless people is a hopeless people, right, Brother Sneed? So let me share my screen. I do have a presentation. Can you see that? Let me go here.
Yes, it's good. Put it on slide presentation. We're
Yep,
good.
you got it. You got it. It's there.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So again, thanks for the introduction. I'm Fred Jackson, the Assistant General Manager with the Economic Workforce Development Department. I oversee the Economic Development Division. And so, as you all know, economic development is the catalyst for transformation, right? We help to advance and accelerate change that hopefully will impact not only the built environment, but positively impact and improve the economic realities of our communities, and hopefully doing so without any sort of gentrification or displacement. And hopefully the goal is that it's multi-generational, right? And so for the Economic and Workforce Development Department for the City of LA, see here, get over here. You know, our mission is to develop and deliver the best in class economic and workforce development services to generate, sustain, and grow individual, business, and community prosperity in the city of Los Angeles. The Economic Development Department has 4 major program areas. One being small business support, another being workforce development. I'll talk a little bit about that division and what they do. We also have real estate, and then it's all rooted in community resilience, making sure that our community can withstand, sustain, and thrive through any sort of adversities, right? And so that's the 4 major areas of our department. So, you know, as I mentioned, there's 2 main divisions. First is, and I'll speak to the Workforce Development Division. The Workforce Development Division operates 14 work source centers and 2 portal offices that act as basically your personal employment agency. They serve adults, dislocated workers, veterans, homeless, the reentry population, and offer a broad support to business owners and entrepreneurs that need assistance with employment. We also, the Workforce Development Division also operates 14 youth source centers, which helps kids 16 to 24 completing their diplomas, going off to college, getting mentoring and training them to be stable and have stable employment and job opportunities into the future. And then the workforce side also operates a rapid response team. So just recently, the 99-cent store closed here in Southern California. So our rapid response team went out, they supported the employees, helped them identify new employment opportunities, helped them identify if they needed and wanted to move on to a new career opportunities, upskilling opportunities, and pathways to help them in their transition process. And then they also, the workforce development side also has LA Rise, which is a partnership between us and the county, the city and the county workforce development system, which also has a number of nonprofits and for-profit employers to help folks who have high barriers to employment, those who are coming from prison or other challenging environments and situations, to help them get employed and stay employed. And so on the economic development side of the house, for which I am the assistant general manager, we operate 10 business source centers. And I'll go a little more in depth in my presentation about what the business source centers do. We also fund 4 incubators throughout the city. We have a business response unit, which if you are a business trying to navigate the city processes and permits, you contact our business response unit, and that unit will help at least put you in contact with the appropriate and proper individuals and departments to help you obtain and navigate the permitting process through building and safety, planning, and others. We have a small business commission, which is comprised of members of the community that are small business owners. Rhonda Jackson is one of our commissioners, which many of you may know. Rosalind Simpson is another one of our commissioners. She is the general counsel to the CEO of Roscoe's. And so those are 2 individuals from our community that are on our commission, giving us input, giving us feedback on some of the programming that we're doing, how we can better outreach, how we can better serve our community and small businesses throughout the city. And then we also have a real estate unit, which is charged with, we have a small portfolio of city-owned real estate sites that is charged with providing economic development uses on these sites, such as office, grocery stores, and food deserts, and the like. And then we have a lending unit. Since Carolyn Hall, and I should acknowledge her, she is the general manager of the department. And she came aboard probably 4 years ago, and I'm approaching my 4-year anniversary. She has made it an effort for our 2 divisions, the Economic Development Division and the Workforce Development Division, to collaborate more. Previously, we were a little bit siloed, but we are 2 sides of the same coin. So for example, just about a year or so ago, we had a small business core program in which we partnered up with Meta, which is formerly Facebook, in which we had paid internships for approximately 200 youth. Those 200 youth that got trained through our workforce division were then placed in businesses that we had worked with in our business source center system. And so they got the training to help with Facebook or Meta social media ads and marketing. And they came aboard and worked with those businesses to basically launch and assist them with their marketing platforms. We also are collaborating with the county to launch a sidewalk vending program. And that should be launched later on this year. And then recently, the workforce side of the house partnered up with the airport to create an internship and a partnership, an apprenticeship, I should say, to channel individuals into a lot of the construction and capital improvement programs that are going on at the airport. So in terms of the Economic Development Division, we're broken up into basically 4 three major areas. Our business advancement team and our business source centers, as I mentioned, we have 10 of those. Our incubators, we have 4 of those, real estate, and then we have several new programs that we just launched and a few that we're about to launch here in the next coming month or so. And I'll go through a lot of those in my presentation. And so for our business source center system, as I mentioned, there's 10 of those throughout the city. They help connect businesses with specialists to help you navigate and answer any sort of questions. If you have a question regarding how do I develop a business plan, I have a question regarding business accounting and invoicing. I need help with contracting. We have the business source centers are set up to help you with that. They can also help with providing access to capital. If you are looking to need funding, working capital, you need access to capital to grow and expand, to hire. They will assist you with all the requirements that are needed, all of the backup documentation that you're needed to qualify for those grants and loans, and then submit them. Because in most instances, we are partnering up with CDFIs that can provide you those loan programs. As I mentioned, we'll help navigate the permitting process and the licensing requirements for various things. We also can assist with marketing and technical assistance. And then there's a lot of free, all of these services are free. And we also have counseling that's involved. And so some of the business source centers that are, and I'll share that I have been South LA focused. So I'm not mentioning any business source centers and a lot of the information I'm providing that are in other parts of the city. So there's 3 business source centers kind of in the South LA area. The South LA, Vermont Slauson is the operator of 2 of those business source centers. They are located right there at Slauson, Vermont. And so they are the closest to the Crenshaw Leimert Park community. CRCD, which is located on Central, close to the Dunbar Hotel. They operate in the southeast portion of the southeast Los Angeles, and then there's Watts, which Vermont Slauson is in the Watts community and provides assistance there. As I mentioned, we also have 4 incubators. We have the Los Angeles Clean Tech Incubator, which helps technology companies bring their products and services to market. We have Grid 110, which supports early stage entrepreneurs and innovative companies through providing mentorships and other startup resources. We have Accelerating a Blue Future, which is out at the port to assist blue economy startups accelerate their business growth and developing a path onto going to market and commercialization. And then we have CLA, or Season Accelerator, which is a food incubator. You are you baking cookies out of your kitchen and you want to scale up, you go to that incubator. And they will help you to scale up and figure out how to expand and grow your business. If you want to get into brick and mortar, they will let you know the path to do that, and if you're ready. And many of these incubators also have seed money for you to launch and then go off and market your products. Charger Help was a entity that started off at our Lacey incubator. 2 sisters there, they decided who had technical backgrounds, decided that they needed to find a solution on how to fix broken electric vehicle charging stations. Sometimes you go to some of these charging stations, you plug your car. Well, I don't have an electric car, but I'm told you can go around and you'll find a lot of these charging stations are not working. And so anyway, they came up with technology to fix them, and they have launched, and now they've actually blown up. They're becoming a national company at this point. And so since these numbers or from 2019 to 2022, but we've had 340 businesses, over 345 businesses to roll into our incubator system. There's been 28 that have businesses that have launched from that program, and there's been 120 jobs that have been created. Another program that we recently launched a year ago is our JEDI zones, which stands for Jobs and Economic Development Incentive Zones. And they provide incentives for areas of the city that have a persistent unemployment, underemployment, they're low to moderate income earnings. There's been a lot of neighborhood instability, a lot of vacancy in terms of the commercial corridors. A lot of these areas were previous redevelopment areas within the city, opportunity zone areas, enterprise zone areas. So the program creates economic equity citywide by promoting and expanding local businesses. There's several number of components to this program. Obviously, there's the access to capital, there's compliance assistance. We have a permit fee reduction. We provide businesses up to $10,000 if they intend to do some sort of improvements to their business and they need assistance or getting permits from the city. We have $10,000 that will provide to those businesses there to offset the cost of the permits. We have an Employer Connect program in which if you have a need for an employee, we will work with our workforce development division to help you find someone, train someone, and be employed. And that will be paid for. I think it's 6 months of employment that we'll pay for, in addition to the training. We are about to launch a facade improvement program. Up to $75,000 will be provided to businesses to improve and beautify their exterior facades. There is a microloan program that is also about to be launched here before the end of the year as a part of this program. And then there's priority support from our team of staff dedicated to the JEDI program. And so within South LA, there are 2 JEDI zones. One is in CD8 along Crenshaw, from starting basically at Vernon and going a little south of Slauson, and to 60th Street to the south. The other is the Goodyear track, which is in CD9, and that's bound by Slauson to the north, Florence to the south, Central to the east, and Avalon to the west. And so we work with the council offices to identify these areas in which they would like for us to target these incentives to assist the businesses in those areas. And there's going to be a number of other programs that we intend to roll out within our JEDI program. Another program that our department is running is our good food zones. There are 2 identified zones within the city to address the food deserts that we have within our city. One is South LA, another is in the San Fernando Valley area. But this program seeks to expand access to healthy food options, and it provides grants up to $25,000 for businesses that are committed to developing and growing their healthy food options. One of the businesses, I should know this off the top of my head, but I think it's Hank's, the name of the business, which is right there on Florence near Crenshaw. They were awarded a grant through our Good Food Zone to assist them with providing healthy food options, modifying their design and layout of their business. And so that's another program that our department also oversees. We recently launched earlier this year our Legacy Business Program. And so there are well over 50,000 businesses throughout the city that have operated for 20 years or longer. And so Councilman Price was the impetus behind this program. He felt that indefinitely in CD9, there are a number of businesses that have been there historically for years. And what they needed technical assistance and a lot of other assistance. And so he asked us to look into several different legacy business programs that were starting to pop up. And so in the city of San Francisco, they had launched the legacy business program, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. And so we did some research there, San Antonio, Long Beach, a number of cities throughout the country. And so we came back and we just recently launched our program. And so it has several components. The technical assistance component for businesses. There's financial assistance. So there will be grants that will be available up to $20,000 to assist a business with a variety of eligible uses. It could be for working capital to you need assistance with any sort of improvements. And so those grants we're about to launch, and this is breaking news. So we're about to launch that portal the first week of August. I think August 5th is actually when the portal for the grants will be opened up. Marketing assistance, so we intend to assist these businesses with their marketing, obviously on city websites, working with the council offices to make sure that folks know about these legacy businesses that have been around, that have contributed to the vitality of our communities, that are providing resources in our communities. And they are the cultural identity of our community. So we need to get behind them and support them. And a lot of tourism also is driven off of a lot of our legacy businesses. People know about Crenshaw, but they come to Crenshaw sometimes just to eat some soul food at Doolin's. And so, that's just he is a legacy business, for example. And then just government connections, having and accessing government contracts here at the city. We have a number of city departments that annually have millions of dollars in contracts that our legacy businesses and frankly, all of our businesses should be able to access and have the opportunity to be awarded. Also with this program, but it's down the road, is also a facade improvement program. And so this program is citywide. That, as I mentioned, it was launched in March of this year. I mentioned real estate. And so a site that everyone in our community is familiar with is the Marlton Square site. That is one of the sites in our portfolio. And so at this point, probably 2 years ago, we issued an RFP, a request for proposal. We got a response from a very qualified bench of actually national developers. And we selected Hudson Pacific, which is based in New York. They've done a lot of things here locally and regionally. And they proposed a mixed-use project with office and retail. 2 5-story office buildings totaling 300,000 square feet, a 19,000 square foot grocery store. They had a 10,000 square foot food incubator, and then also an urban farm. And so folks are asking, so what's happening? Well, what's happening is the market. The market changed. And if you drive now up and down, drive on Crenshaw, the CIM development on the former West A parking lot is empty. And just office space after the pandemic has just not recovered. Folks are not, we work 2 days a week in the office. And so office space is not penciling out. So we are working with the developer and we'll be hopefully coming back with either some sort of scaled down version of that so that it does pencil out. But those are some of the challenges that we're having with it, but they are a quality developer that I'm confident will deliver a first-rate project. In terms of our lending program. We have a couple of different lending programs. We have a gap financing program, which is CDBG funded, community development block grant funded. And just recently, we provided $1.5 million to Little Tokyo Service Center for their Go for Broke First Street North project. That project is going to provide 240 affordable housing units and roughly 40,000 square feet of commercial space. Our funds went to the commercial component, and with the intent of writing down the commercial rents so that legacy businesses that are being displaced out of Little Tokyo can come back into that development. And so that is one of the areas in which our gap financing is focusing on, is really trying to support the legacy businesses that are being pushed out. Because real estate valuations are escalating everywhere in Southern California, but that's just one example. And we have a couple other projects that are in the pipeline and being underwritten at the moment for our gap financing program. Another program is our EDA revolving loan fund. Last year, we provided $1.1 million to Dr. Osborne here. He, back in 2018, decided to purchase a building to house his institute. And so he ran into a lot of issues during the pandemic. And so our Business Source Center helped him to refinance, and we provided $1 million to help him complete his construction. And so he is close to the end of his construction, which is, he's located in the Westchester area. But that's an example of one of our EDA revolving loan fund projects that we recently supported. And then we also are partnered up with the Department of Transportation to assist LA restaurants in applying and qualifying and getting approval for outdoor dining permits. And so you can see since February of this year, we've reviewed and assisted about 200 and close to 300 businesses. Some of the programs we have recently launched, and I'm going to kind of go out of order, but I'll hit all of these, is our small business legal aid program. So last year we launched that program in March, and we've assisted well over 3,000 businesses who've had issues and legal issues. And so this is a partnership between us and the county, public counsel, and BetCET to provide assistance to small businesses who have legal issues that they need to have addressed. I mentioned our sidewalk vending program that we're partnering up with the county to launch later on this year, and that will provide technical assistance to the owners, but also we will be providing the actual carts later on in the year once those are approved through the building and safety entities and the health department. LA Optimize 2.0 will be relaunched here in the fall. What we find during the pandemic, there was roughly, according to LA EDC, there was roughly 15,000 businesses. Roughly half of those businesses closed. And one of the main reasons a lot of those businesses closed were because they did not have the ability to do e-commerce. They didn't have a digital footprint. They didn't have a digital presence. And so LA Optimize is a program in which it will help small businesses create their website, do social media. If you have a website, how do you optimize that website, right? And how do you capture and do e-commerce? And so it's in the world we live now, that's, my kids are on the phone on this all the time. We're doing this virtually, right? So everything now is digitally how things are done. And so LA Optimize is that program that small businesses can go to get that assistance. As I mentioned, we have the Meta program. We're looking to relaunch that small business core, in which it's the workforce side. We'll have a training component that will then go, those trainees will then go into our businesses that we work with on our Business Source side. Contract Ready LA. There are billions of dollars in contracts between the city, the county, and others, as well as all these major events that are coming into our area that we want small businesses to be ready to be able to seize the opportunities and get the contracts for, we have the Super Bowl, the Olympics, the World Cup, you name it. And so the Contract Ready LA will be an academy type program in which we will put businesses through that academy. They will learn all the different requirements from, you know, bonding and insurance to how you navigate, how you speak to a prime contractor, right? How do you go about getting the contracts to help you expand and to grow your business if that's what you so choose to do. And then our SEDGE and jobs report. So back in 2016, the SEDGE report is the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategies report. And so it looks at how do we implement in various programs throughout the city to assist businesses to address some of the systemic issues, economic development issues in some of our communities. And our jobs report is another detailed report that looks at how we can increase the capacity internally to assist businesses. And so that we will be releasing an RFP to solicit a contractor or consultant to help us with doing some listening tours, go out into the community, hear about what the concerns and issues are in the community and challenges that small businesses are facing, and how we as a city can better assist them and support them to stay in the city, to thrive in the city, and hopefully expand and grow. And so that is my presentation. I thank you so much for this opportunity. And Greg, Robin, Crystal, Sarah, I'm here to answer any questions but I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. While he has the screen still up, if you want to grab the website information, and let's see if I can copy that? No, I can't copy that in there. So we'll put that in the chat as well. But certainly grab that and you can go ahead and take that down, Fred. Okay. Excellent presentation. One thing is for certain is that Stephen, we're going to have to book him for a part 2 because there's a lot of stuff that the department is doing. Ted, I'll get to you in just a moment. If you can put we may be a little short on time, so if you can put the question in the chat, or if you're going to come on, Mike, be brief in your question. Ask the question. A lot of people will say they'll get 3-5 minutes before they even pose the question. So we are a little short on time. Again, there's a lot that the department is doing, and we'll certainly have to watch this again to kind of go through that. It would certainly be good to have I think the city ought to have an acronym glossary, a digital glossary where you can just, okay, you can just type in, okay, what are these initials? And it should be citywide, right? It'll be massive, but you're trying to figure that out. Again, there's a lot of unpack there. I would also like to encourage the terminology of using micro business. Small business, it's amazing when I think of like Chase Bank. So Chase Bank, their small business department goes up to 100 million in sales. And so same thing with small business, everything that might apply for some of the entries for a small business would be challenging for what they call a micro business. Number one question I have is that how do those who need assistance really find out? And so if you could give us in the chat, the website there's a main website we can go to.
I'll just say, well, our website is EWDD.LAcity.gov. And just in general, we define small business as having 25 employees or less. And so there's no real official definition for small business.
That's the challenge.
HUD, to your point, Greg, I mean, HUD, I think, defines it at like 200 or 500 employees and, several million, right? And that's, in my mind, that's not small, but we generally find it as 25 or less employees.
How do those who can offer services to the department get in touch? So you're trying to provide resources. Obviously, there are a number of us that can provide those sources there. I don't know if that's through ramp or there's some other type of way that they can get in touch. That would certainly be important to know. Or is that through the Vermont Lawson? Is it through the
Yeah, it generally would depend, right? It depends on what the service is, and if we already have an operator or a contractor, subrecipient that we're already working with. But it would generally either start, it would start with our department. Well, I would say me. And then I would delegate it to others in our department to do, to ask questions and do the investigation if that's an area that one, we have a void in and we're not providing assistance. And then two, the big question is, do we have the funding to support it?
that was my next question is how is funding for,
Well,
there's a lot
the
of
city,
cuts.
city's going through a little bit of a challenging period, but this too shall pass. But I think one of the areas that we're looking at within my division is actually looking at philanthropy and looking at grant opportunities, not only with our local philanthropy and national, well, with philanthropy in general, but also through some of the federal agencies. And so it's in hopes that we are able to secure some of those funding opportunities, and then we'll have the funds to expand and grow our portfolio of programs, and to partner up with individuals and entities that are here represented to provide assistance to our community.
Cool. So I see nobody actually put their question in the chat. So we got Ted, David, Sarah, and Linda. So again, we're going to try and get through you guys, but again, be brief, please. Ted.
I'm quick. I'm pushing, and I'll defer to Sarah. I'm pushing the mixer, the BBA mixer that we have in this Wednesday at the Chester Washington Golf Course. It is an emphasis on green sector opportunities that we're having. I'm board president for Anchor of Hope, which I had Gene Franken on, but we're pushing green sector opportunities for micro businesses this Wednesday, and so it'll be a great opportunity to participate with that, to have the 3 centers participate with that.
You say this Wednesday? Oh, well,
this coming Wednesday at Chester Washington Golf Course. And it's a prelude to the Bragg Business Expo that's going to be at Trade Tech.
Right.
But there's a particular interest, emphasis on green sector opportunities.
Awesome.
David, you're up.
I'm Linda.
I'm going in the order that looked like they were placed. So I've got David, Sarah, and then Linda. David's hands down. Okay. All right, Linda.
Oh, sorry, I was speaking. My fault. Thank you for the space and all the leaders that are here. Familiar faces, always cool, family. My question is, there's a lot of resources that are here, and in government, there's oftentimes a plethora of resources. Some folks said, how do we get the resources out? So that's the first part. We know we can reach out to you in your office and get those resources. My question is, what does it look like in terms of the budget for the resources versus how many folks are actually utilizing those resources?
Great questions. So, our business source centers, our incubators, those are funded annually through community development block grant funds. And so those services at those centers and at those incubators are free, and we anticipate that will happen in perpetuity unless CDBG or something goes away. Our other programs, a lot of our other programs are general funded. Our JEDI program is general funded. And LA Optimize are general funded. So those will remain. What may not remain in some of those programs are some of those grant opportunities that we have, but the assistance and the marketing and some of the things that are not, I would say, funded or grants will continue on. Now,
are they operating at capacity or are they below capacity? I'm just wondering, these are all these great resources, but are they really being maximized? So we could think about what engines we need to put in effect to make sure the community gets there. Because if we have this amazing resource and folks aren't getting there, that's part of our job as a community to push it out.
Yeah, we've been working closely with the council offices to get these information out. We've been working with our business source centers to also get this information out. But we need partners such as you all to help us further our footprint. And so any assistance in that regard in terms of the outreach and marketing of our programs is appreciated. In terms of capacity, you know, I think the Economic Development Division, and just to be frank with you, there's 35 of us to do all these programs. And so, yeah, there's a lot of programs to run with that team. And so we do have capacity. They're not, you know, we're not exhausted of the funds as of yet. You know, the city is on a fiscal cycle, right? So July 1st is our the first of basically our year. And so we got funding starting for July 1st through June 30th for all these programs. And then we go back through the budget process, ask for additional funding to continue these programs on. So I don't know if I really answered your question, but we have capacity. We can use the additional support to get the word out, you know.
Got it.
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you.
Sarah?
Yes, hi. Thank you, Ted, for part of the information in terms of for our Black Business Month mixer kickoff on July 31st. And that's at Chester, Washington again. But like I have put in the chat about our Black Business Day Expo on Saturday, August 17th. We are so honored and so grateful to be able to have the city there. And thank you, Fred, Mr. Jackson, so much for being gracious and really making themselves available, because there is so much here, as you can tell, to unpack. So to be able to have that opportunity for a more personal and kind of in your face contact is much more beneficial. So I just want to say thank you to that. And I learned so much during this presentation. You gave us some great nuggets that in terms of launching. So we're looking forward to continue being a partner on that. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, and thank you for the floor.
Linda, thank you for your patience. You're up.
Yeah, I put two questions in the chat. One about the Jedi for Crenshaw. Does that include the Leimert Park Village, which is basically 43rd Vernon, Crenshaw, and Leimert Park Boulevard? I remember Jenna coming and doing a presentation here with us. So I'm not sure if that area is included, because you went straight down Crenshaw.
Yeah, I'm not sure who Jenna is, but the Jedi is essentially a corridor. And so we're looking at everything from Vernon and on both sides of Crenshaw all the way down to, I think I said 60th. And so we'll assist businesses within that corridor. It doesn't expand and go north to the village.
Okay, so she was doing a specific one. She's with Vermont Slauson Economic Development.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then my second question about the legacy businesses. Do they have to reside in Los Angeles? Can they be in Inglewood, Long Beach?
We would love to support them all, but we only have funding for the city of LA. So yes, you need to be located in the city of Los Angeles.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll just say, I'll end, since Sarah mentioned, we're looking forward to being there on the 17th of August. And we'll have a lot of the team, well, I won't say a lot, but we'll have team members there from the various programs to answer and provide information and answer any questions regarding our programs. And yeah, we're excited to be there. Looking forward to it.
Crystal, Robin, and then Stephen.
Thank
You
you
know
guys.
what? Let me just say this. I've known Fred a very, very, very long time, and I'm so excited that he's with the city, because I know that we have someone who's committed to our community. He said that at the top of his conversation, and he brings, as you've heard his resume, he brings a dearth of experience and knows how to make a dollar out of 15 cents. Meaning, yeah, he has 35 people on his staff, but they're going to be the most efficient, directed individuals. And I'm excited for the fact that now the administration is there to help a person like a Fred who came on board with all of these skills to a city like Los Angeles. So thank you, Fred, for your historical experience, and thank you for your commitment to the community. And guys, when he's presenting this information, one correction, none of this is free. These are your tax dollars at work. So that's the reason why people don't vote, because they don't get it. That your vote decides who's going to be in office, who decides who's going to get funding. So please stop using that word free when it's our tax dollars that are paying for this stuff. Help people connect to the fact that your vote puts somebody in office who comes up with a budget, who comes up with an idea, who gets it funded. And again, we want to thank you for your leadership and your continued commitment to our community.
For sure, for sure.
Thank you. So guys, go out. This is amazing information. You can it'll be up on our YouTube channel in the next week or so after I'm done with this camp. And then you can also go to Recycling Black Dollars Facebook page right now. It's streaming there. And then once I edit it, it'll be up on LinkedIn. So check it out there. Thank you so much. Stephen, what are we doing next week? Can't hear you. Well, can't hear you. There we can. Well, now we can't. You're talking, but we're not hearing. Okay. So next week we're having an open forum to have conversations about voting and making sure we understand what our call to action is. We can talk. So overjoyed with having Kamala, but she gonna get hit from every side that they've already started it. The one thing that when I was on the Black Collective call the other night, one of the things they wanted those that have media or media platforms to come back with facts to offset the negatives that's going to happen. So we need to be making sure that we do our research to make sure we're factual, and then we are posting on platforms as well. But next week we're having open forum. Are we by any chance gonna get a Kelly Todd or somebody? Sarah? Maybe. So just to drop in to say hello.
Working on it,
are?
yeah. Working on it.
All right,
too.
so working on that. Working on it. Emma, if you have any, I know you're a wealth of information, but anyone else that you can have, if you can invite them so that we can make sure that we have a conversation about what we need to do and our call to action and how we're going to get through this next 102 days with somebody that's not going to install Project 25. That's all I'm caring about, guys. I just can't handle Project 25. That's all I'm saying. Ms. Robin.
Yeah, I just wanted, I wanted to say, there was a question in the chat box of how does a person with an electrical background, when we bring folks on these shows, guys, please take the time to go to the individual's website, get some information before you start getting specific about what your need is, so that when you get an audience with them, you're prepared to provide them with the information they need to help you. So again, Fred, I wanted to ask a question. If there are businesses on here who want to access all of this stuff that you've offered and they fit within the purview of the geographical description that you've given, is it best for them to register with RAMP? Tell us, give us those little tidbits on how they can get seen and or get services from you.
Right. So RAMP is the system by which you can go to and get information on the various bidding opportunities that are coming up within the city, right? Mm-hmm. So I would suggest everyone register with RAMP for those, right? And so that they are the collector of all of the various city departments that need, they have contracting opportunities. And so that's one. In terms of the programs that I mentioned for our department specifically, there's our website. I can give you my personal email address, which is Fred. I guess I should put it in the chat, huh? Fred.Jackson, at LA City. .org. And so feel free to reach out to me. If you could, in the subject line, just put, community briefing or something to that effect. I'll be happy to respond and or connect you to someone within our department that specifically would address the issue and concern that you have. But yes, Robin, that's great. Please go to RAMP, register online for the RAMP opportunities.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. Guys, go over to the Los Angeles Urban League website and give congratulations to our kids for completing a summer 2 cohorts of Biz Camp, which was absolutely awesome. We have some amazing kids that are presenting tomorrow. If anyone has some free time and want to come by and check out the kids tomorrow, we would love to have you to encourage them on. And but we want to cheer them on so that they feel welcome and they know that they've completed an amazing task for the last 2 weeks. 3 weeks. They learned how to write a business plan in 3 weeks. So there's some adults out there that haven't written a business plan in 3 weeks, probably 12 months. Some in cases 5 years. So we want to encourage them. I will be putting up some pictures on my Facebook page, and the Urban League probably has some over on theirs. So please hit them up. It's an amazing program. It's one of my most pleasurable jobs that I do for the whole entire year. And I love my adults, but I love the kids even more. So thank you guys for joining us. Come back next week. Bring some folks. We're going to have a great conversation about the 102 days. Probably less, 90 days. We had 90 days next week. So we will see you all then. Thank you so much for joining us. We did have a nice little number, but we'd like this number to grow. In fact, I'd like for us to grow out of Zoom and have to be on a streaming platform. That's my goal. So see you all.
Everybody next week.
Oh, there you go.
Emma, they're looking for a vice president candidacy, and I put your name in.
For what?
They're looking for a vice president.
I'm looking forward to it. We've already talked. Let me tell you, I'm ready.
I'll vote for Emma.
Yeah, 2 women on the ticket, both from California.
Listen, you guys.
She at least has 15 votes right here.
Right here, 15 votes, Emma.
You have no idea how busy I've been, but I do have some ballots to register people to vote, and I would love for you guys to get with me on the weekend. We can go out and get these people registered. And what I decided to do is take different areas whether it's LA, Inglewood, Gardena, Lawndale, we have to get out there. And I got the ballots, and you can get some from the post office if you need them, but we have to register people so that they are ready to vote.
Emma,
and we can give a report how many we register each week and find out where the need is greater.
That's awesome. Do we have anyone that is working with the young adults, especially the young men? Because I'm getting a lot of feedback, a lot of questions. They're tapping into when Kamala was a prosecutor in California, and that seems what they're focused in on. But we need to make sure the information is being disseminated to that younger population so that they understand what all is involved. We're not telling them who to vote for. We just want them to be knowledgeable in their votes.
I just posted on my Facebook something that I saw from Questlove, where a young brother was talking about exactly what you're talking about, Crystal, about how they had denigrated her for doing her job. It was her job, right? If you do wrong and she's an attorney, prosecuting attorney, you're going to get prosecuted. However, the numbers of thousands of people being prosecuted in jail, it was only 45 people. It was only 45 people. So to your point, misinformation is alive and thriving, and we have to double counter with good information.
Yes. So that's it.
What we need. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Crystal. I was going to say, I'm not on TikTok, and every now and then I go on there because my family may send me TikToks. You would be surprised what's on there. Unless you're good and go back and counter some of the things that are placed on TikTok, it is awful.
Horrendous.
Especially with Black men. And you have to get that word out and how important it is. That, I mean, they hate Kamala, and the way they're talking about it's like they know her personally. So TikTok is a vehicle that we can spread the message. That's where a lot of young people go to.
Yeah, Instagram as well. I've had some actual
And
personal
Instagram.
conversations and telling them to get involved. That's the first level. Get involved.
Absolutely.
That way you can get the real information. But we'll carry this on next week. Fred, we're gonna love to have you come back. Thank you so much. Yes.
I have a quick question. Were any of the brothers on this call on the $53,000 53 brothers call with Roland Martin?
All right, Greg.
Greg, you said you were good. That's the only person.
I
You
was
guys
on
need to get on it.
I was on the Black Collective, the 10,000. I didn't get on the 45,000.
Yeah.
But I will be there Sunday.
I was on it.
And I think
I was
there's
on
one
both. I was on both.
one tonight as well.
Brothers, y'all are outdoing us. Check into that call with Roland Martin and the brothers. 53,000 strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Another
there's
member of our
one
great
tonight.
fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha, Roland Martin. See, so it's the Alpha men leading the way.
All the way.
I love it. Love it. All right, guys. This is
All
good.
right. See you guys next week. Have a great time. If you want to drop by Da Vinci and El Segundo at 201 Douglas tomorrow morning, and then the second part will be around 11 or 12. Please feel welcome to do so. We'd love to have you. If not, we'll see you in the fall. Bye-bye, everyone.
Give our regards, Trump.
Yeah. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, I got a 12 o'clock Zoom. Bye, y'all.
Bye.